wouldn't be an outlook if I didn't ask you kind of what do you think the market is underestimating in 2026? And just to keep it simple, Oz, we'll just start with you and we'll work back towards me.
I think one thing that the market underappreciates is culture in businesses and management teams. I think it's easy to think in narratives. It's often small startup, big incumbent, AI native, AI loser. It's a simple way to bifurcate the world. And the reality is that I think there are businesses and management teams that will respond to change and build products that acutely solve customer needs. And then there are businesses that won't. And I think those will come from all parts of the ecosystem, whether it's a more traditional financial company or consumer company, or it is in fact a company that came out of stealth months ago. I think you're going to see different versions of companies that succeed, and the one through line for all of those companies will be culture and an ability to adapt and respond to opportunity.
So this is going to be more specific to the biotech ecosystem. I think that what investors recognize, but perhaps under-recognize, is the wide variance of regulatory outcomes over this next year, both positive and negative. Over the year that came, we saw a meaningful shakeup at the Food and Drug Administration. At every level of the agency, we saw leadership change, we saw staff change. The organization looks different than it did a year ago. Simultaneously, we've come to recognize the emergence of the Chinese biotech ecosystem and the speed with which they are pursuing and overtaking our drug development ecosystem. What that looks like over the next several years, I think, to the upside would be an acceleration of timelines from the review to the approval of drugs. To the downside, that would look like regulatory uncertainty, unexpected questions, delays in review, unexpected drug rejections. So we're yet to see how this regulatory regime will look like over the next year, but I anticipate this favors a retreat to quality insider syndicates so that companies are well capitalized to weather the regulatory uncertainty that they may face.
I think climate resiliency is one area in which sort of kind of climate change is here, and this idea of building resiliency is now table stakes both for governments and for municipalities and companies alike. And so this idea of hardening assets, creating more flexible supply chains, an increase in visibility, a management of labor workforce as you think about increasingly harsh conditions, whether that be from heat or otherwise, these are all areas in which we need to build more resilience. And we see a lot of opportunity happening across all different sectors in how you need to manage that resiliency and adapt to climate change.
We really believe that investors are underestimating the importance of distribution. In a world where technology has seemingly become commoditized, right? Now in this world of AI and the tools that we have available, anyone can build a company, and it's becoming easier and easier to do so. Whereas we would have historically spent most of our time upfront on founder and technology, while both of those things are still important to evaluate in depth, we are spending even more time on distribution. How are you going to get your product, service, whatever technology, whatever it may be, out to your end consumer? And do you have a unique way to do that? Because in this world where there are so many people building and so many different opportunities, the founders that can get their product in front of their customers the fastest and the highest quality customers the fastest, those are the ones that are going to win, even if the technology is slightly subpar next to a competitor. So we are really underwriting both fundamentals and distribution at the same way we are underwriting founders and technology, because we view those things to be critical and very underestimated components of early stage investing today.
It's interesting across the 4 stages and sectors you cover, amongst all of the excitement and the hype around AI, what stands out to me is words like resiliency, durability, distribution, quality, the basic fundamentals of business execution, which happen to be powered by technological advances, but it comes back to that core in terms of how you're looking at evaluating and selecting companies. So we'll conclude there. Thank you so much for your time today, and excited to see what comes in 2026.